because this was rather concerning. And just well, not for me. It's concerning for those journalists out there that spent so much time and effort trying to convince Americans that Donald Trump really and truly was the enemy, like just awful person, and it was all because of J6, right? Well, this is kind of a rude awakening that they're getting, a very rude awakening. One of the MSNBC reporters went and did this little meeting with union workers, and you know where union workers are. 60% of the Teamsters say they are voting for Donald Trump. Well, this reporter is a little frustrated because apparently they weren't listening to her over on MSNBC during those days after January 6th.
Talk to me about your level of interest in the criminal charges and so forth.
February 6th?
January 6th.
January 6th. So I remember that day. I know he was the standing president. I'm not familiar with the charges that are being brought against him for that. I'm not following that charge or I know there's multiple court cases going on. I'm just not familiar with it.
I mean, that doesn't sound like it's going to be a factor in deciding who to vote for.
No.
Okay, so when I say January 6th, what do you think?
Oh, I just remember seeing it on the news, like all the riots and stuff. Don't really know what it was about or what happened, though.
How did it make you feel when you saw it?
I don't know. I don't really feel any way about it. People showed their emotion, I guess. Probably in the wrong way, but it happened.
Who here is...
So I think she's a little surprised that people were not more emphatic and disturbed. And it's sort of like, I think there's a little bit of fatigue. Like it became so much noise. I mean, how many times can you tell the world he is a fascist dictator, right? Like how many times can you say that until they're like, well, wait a second, is this a little boy who cried wolf? I mean, it was this lawsuit and this lawsuit and this lawsuit. I mean, I do this for a living and I'm trying to keep track of it. And I'm like, whoa, like another one? Here we go. Wait, which one is this? Which one is that? I'd say the team, let's make sure we have these straight now. Okay, this is Letitia James and this is the Fannie Willis down in Georgia and this one wants this and this one wants that. And then, you've got... what's his name there out of DC. And then you get the other guy there in New York. I mean, it's like overwhelming, right? And so at some point, after a while, it becomes like noise. And so they kind of shot themselves in the foot, so to speak. I mean, if they really wanted people to care that much about what a big, awful guy Donald Trump was, maybe they should have timed it better. Maybe they should have focused on one case instead of having a zillion cases. I don't know, but I think Americans came away from that saying, I'm dizzy, I'm exhausted, and all I know is my groceries cost a heck of a lot more than they did back then. I know that it's more expensive to fill my gas tank than it was back then. I know I'm not making as much. No, you're not, because guess what? Real wages, these are wages adjusted for inflation. They're down some 8.6% from when Donald Trump was there. I mean, this is not good, ladies and gentlemen. It's crazy. I was trying to plan, I'm looking ahead to Christmas. Why not, right? I love Christmas. And we usually go on vacation after Christmas, and I'm looking and I'm trying to and I'm like, this is crazy. I know that I stayed in this hotel like in 2019. Okay, I realize it was a while ago, but pre-COVID, right? 2019, this was right before Biden came into office, and it definitely didn't cost that much. And our airfare definitely didn't cost that much. Why has everything gone up, and away? I mean, I can explain it to you, and I've tried to over the many years on this program, first on audio, now on video, but we've talked about this at length. I warned you in August 2020 when the Fed was printing so much money that Donald Trump, who was putting in a second stimulus at the time, was running a certain set of risks. But what I didn't know at the time was that Biden was going to get in there and do a third stimulus check. Give me that stimmy, baby. And then we were going to have all of Congress get involved, and they were going to be like, I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that. And they were going to print all that money, more than we had ever seen in this economy, while simultaneously the Federal Reserve kept the printing press going with interest rates super low. You wonder why we got inflation? You wonder. Okay, Janet Yellen, I'm sick of the transitory talk that you gave us over and over and over again. They all share blame in this. It was a disaster, and we are paying the price. Kamala Harris thinks the answer is to print more money and just give out $25,000 for every new homeowner. And hey, if you came over the border, we may give you a special sweetener. That's also in her plan. She wants to actually offer more to anybody who is a first-time home buyer. We don't want to get my Irish up, right? We don't want to do that. It's too early for that in the day. Anyway.